be more than human. Hello and welcome back to the channel, all you howlers out there. My name is Joseph Carroll and I write under the pen name J.R. Carroll. And today we are going to talk about Iron Gold, the first book in the second trilogy in the Red Rising series. If you've been following the channel, you know that this series has pretty much taken over my channel over the last 2 months. And people were telling me, you gotta read it. So I've got into it, and I just one after the other, and I loved the first trilogy. And a lot of people, I watched other reviewers and stuff, and some people were kind of down on the first book. I think it was a really good book for the first in the series, and I think every book got better. I know some people think that like Golden Sun was like the best, but I really liked Morning Star. And then I watched some non-spoiler reviews of this book, or people just kind of describing it, and so I was kind of worried, I'm not gonna lie, because they were like, the format is different, they brings in more POVs, the book's huge, and I'm not one of those people who really likes a lot of different POVs. I like to just stay with our guy Lara there. But this is gonna have some spoilers in it. I'm not gonna try and spoil the whole book, but who knows? If I feel like I'm really getting into it, I'll hit a warning and be like, stop now or forever, get it spoiled for you. But I just want to kind of get my feelings out about each different section. Obviously, we have Darrow here, and this book is kind of a reflection for Darrow of what does he want to be, or what can he be. In himself, he is wanting to be that father. I mean, we kind of start the book off, and he hasn't seen Virginia or his son in like a year, I think, is or close to that. And we do it's a 10-year time jump here, which wasn't as jarring as I thought it was going to be. I think it worked out well. But yeah, he's sitting there, he's like, oh, I really want to be, father, a closer father with Pax, but the war just keeps tearing him away, and then he's having to deal with the Senate, who are so naive, and it's kind of realistic. They think, we can get peace, with a treaty here, and Darrow's just like, no, you are not going to get peace. The only way to get peace is to crush the Ash Lord. And so that's his whole thing. He's like, can he even be that? Or is he only this war machine? That is, basically what he's fighting, fighting himself through this whole book. And then we follow Lysander and Cassius. And I would say that this is probably, might be my least favorite section of the book. So he's now like 20 years old, because he was 10 when Darrow, took over, and he kind of sent Lysander and Cassius out, and they're kind of like these renegades that help people, or it seems like that's how they're doing it, but they're undercover, and Cassius is doing everything he can to protect Lysander, and I just there were some really cool parts in here, especially with Cassius and kicking some ass here. But I don't know. They're out on the rim, and they get in a really tight spot, and they got to make he's got to make some. This young man's got to make some really tough decisions, and he also has that thing in his mind. It's like, do I want to kind of continue being this kind of person that goes out here and kind of helps people, and or do I want to take up my mother's mantle and run back into in the core and take on Darrow, but I just I wasn't feeling I wasn't feeling that storyline there. I know they all kind of converge, but yeah, that one wasn't the best. And then you have Lara, I think that might be how you say her name, but this one I liked it a little bit better than the Lysander one, but still, especially at the beginning, it took me a while to kind of warm up to this POV. She's her family came up. She's old enough to remember, like, people first coming up from underneath Mars. She's a red from Mars. She was in the mines, and but of course things weren't as they were promised, and so she has this vision of hating Mustang, Virginia, the Sovereign, and she gets finds a way and to endear herself to the Telemonises, and kind of makes herself a good life. But she always has this thing about interacting with everybody, and it's always, why do you want to ask about me, about my color, and about what I went through, and you don't know anything, and and it, I don't know, it kind of got old there a little bit. I was like, okay, I get it. You're young, angry. We get it. But towards the end, it becomes pretty exciting. She gets involved with some shady things happen. She's a focal point of a major plot point in the book, and I was pretty excited about that portion of it. So in the end, I liked her POV. It just took me a while to kind of warm up to it. And then we get a fourth POV, and that's Ephraim, and he is a gray, and he's a thief. And we kind of, right off the bat, as soon as we go into his POV, we get to see, him and his crew, and how him and his crew work, and they're, stealing this object. And so they get that done, they go to drop it off, and then he figures out, he's been working for the what do they call him? He's the hands, in the syndicate, one of the syndicate leaders, and it's it's pretty cool. I actually really liked his storyline. He's very kind of matter of fact, but the world has kind of beat him down, but he's really smart. I really connected with. It was my second favorite. And even some of his parts, I even liked better than Darrow. But Darrow's still my favorite overall, and I really liked, where, Ephraim's kind of his section kind of ties everything together, at the end of the book, and he kind of has his own redemption arc there, and I really really like where his character kind of went and is going, and uh, and of course I love mob stuff and secret cabals and all that jazz. So that was really good. I'm not sure how Dark Age is going to turn out. I don't know if we're staying with all the same people or if he's going to be adding more people. Like I said, it's always kind of dangerous when you start adding more and more POVs because, like I said, you're bound to not like some of them. And I would rather not like every time we switch POVs and then you switch a POV and you're like, oh, now we're in the head of this person I do not care about. So I trust Pierce Brown. I really overall really like this book, and I'm super pumped to get into Dark Age. Let me know what you thought about this book. Make sure you like and subscribe so we can get these videos out to more people. Like I said, hit me in the comments. Where does this book rank for you? Is this towards the top of your list? Is it the bottom? How did the structure of the POVs feel for you? And remember, be more than human.